Many car buyers in Uganda today are looking for cars that are slightly raised over the ground just to deal with those uneven surfaces, either due to residence location or road construction and all that kind of thing. So you feel like the RAV4 is expensive, the Vanguard is too expensive, but you really want a car that is family-like, a little raised off the ground, reliable, and your concern is not really much about resale value. Well, here we have the 2008 Mitsubishi Outlander, and I'm going to tell you everything about it, what I like about it, why you should buy one, why you shouldn't buy one, how reliable is it. Let's start with the engine today. So here we have a 2.4 liter 4B12 Mitsubishi engine, and this is the same engine that you find in the Mitsubishi Evos, the rally cars, so it's actually easily tunable if you're into that kind of thing. And in Uganda we are not so concerned about horsepower, torque, but if you really want to know about that, just pause the video right now. So these engines, if you're not very good with your servicing, you'll find that you have issues with oil consumption. But if you do it, say, every 5,000 kilometers or less, you will not have that problem. These engines are reliable. They can go hundreds of thousands of kilometers. You just have to do one thing for them: service them. The engine that we have in this car is mated to a CVT gearbox, which also requires a very faithful servicing, but it's very reliable. And it comes with these paddle shifters, so if you are really the enthusiast that loves to change gears yourself, it would be fun. However, you shouldn't do it too much. You could easily mess up your gearbox. It also got a selectable four-wheel drive system, which allows you to drive the car most of the time in two-wheel drive, and then when situations are really difficult and the roads are slippery or you need the extra force from the rear wheels, then you just turn the knob and you will have four-wheel drive. So one of the things that frustrates me about some of the Japanese cars is that the AC is in a weird location, so it won't exactly blow your face, it will blow your hands as you're driving. So Mitsubishi actually made a smaller steering wheel, which makes the car a little sportier, but also makes you have access to the AC in your face, so it's always cool in your face. And look, we've got a cup holder right here, so you don't have to get your eyes off the road to get into your cup and take your drink. You could actually put it right here. So I'm really a sound person. I've talked about it in probably a number of times, and this car has amazing speakers. Some versions of this car come with a subwoofer, but this one didn't. However, the speakers that it comes with are already quite good. You have the tweeters, you have these. So this one has about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When we look at the exterior of this 2008 Mitsubishi Outlander, you see that it is quite an appealing vehicle. It's got those winkers on the side mirrors. This model specifically had that extra body kit, and this car is actually based on the Lancer, some people call it the Galant in Japan. And because this car is based on the Mitsubishi Galant, it's quite a very stable car. When you hit it through the corners, it's very, very pleasant, and it's got that stiffness to the suspension, and if it's something that gets you, this is the car for you. Well, this is me trying to be so acty, trying to show you the boot and how it opens and how much space you get once you open it. And when it's just in the 5-seater mode, the boot is quite sizable. You can put in a lot of stuff. And this is me again trying to be so acty, trying to show you how much space you can get.
and how much you can put in the boot. This car comes with electronic folding seats. What it means is you just need to press a button to fold the seats, and thereafter you still anyway have to go all the way around just to give them that extra push so that they click while upright.
So when the boot seats are up, this is kind of what it looks like, and the space that you have here is for maybe two suitcases, medium-sized suitcases, or 3, or a crate of soda, probably. Let's jump into these seats and see what it feels like. So when you sit at the back, it's actually really comfortable. You can actually recline your chair a little bit just to make yourself more comfortable, and if there are no people sitting at the back and you need a little more space, you can actually move your seat a little back and sit quite comfortably. And
now to the things that are not very exciting about the Mitsubishi Outlander.
As much as this car is a 7-seater, I think this boot seat is really for short distances and probably maybe smaller people, maybe little children, because I'm literally sitting like in a basin. Something it feels like a basin experience. There's no AC in the boot, so if you want the people here to actually have enough AC, you have to run it at maximum so the people right here can actually get enough AC.
In 5-seater mode though, the Mitsubishi Outlander is really spacious, and the fact that you can move the second row seats forward and back just to get enough legroom is really pleasant. And if you could land your hands on this leather spec, I reckon you would really enjoy the comfort of the Mitsubishi Outlander. Sometimes it might feel a bit hard, but it's comfortable.
As much as the car is actually quite sizable and quite big, it actually struggles with cabin space, and a lot of people who buy this car will probably think that the car has a lot of space for storage of stuff. Mitsubishi tried, however, I feel like they could have done a bit better. For example, this center console is deep, but not deep enough. So probably the best you can put here is maybe your phone or something.
That's just being petty. Storage space should be quite adequate enough for a daily driver, keeping normal stuff, maybe perfumes, sanitizer, or simple stuff. I love the fact that there's AC as well in one of the glove boxes. That's a very unique innovation, especially from a Japanese car. The interior is minimalistic and sweet.
Something interesting I found about this car, it has no clock. So if you're a person that is always keen on time, you might want to buy an external clock, or like this infotainment system, which we bought actually after importing the car. It has a clock, so maybe that would save you. However, there's no clock that comes from the factory. At least I haven't seen any. I love this feature. If you love light and enjoy yourself while you drive, you can actually enjoy the sun while you drive. That's so cool. So a question you might also want to ask is, what's the fuel consumption like for this kind of car? It's actually not bad, because let me close this. Because I've been driving around for a short distance, about 3 kilometers or so, and at this low speed I'm averaging about 6 kilometers, 6.5 kilometers per liter. which on Ugandan roads that is perfect, because it means probably your distance to town or your commute to town, you probably use about 2 liters on a day with a lot of traffic jam. So I decided to come to a very noisy and busy highway. The engine is running, the AC is on, and the road is so busy. This is a highway, and just see how clear my voice is.
What adds to that silence is the felt that is actually in the wheel arches. Very clever, Mitsubishi.
So there is that driving pleasure that you get when you drive this car. The steering wheel is quite small and it's so engaging. So if I just turn it a little bit, the car is already, so it's quite maneuverable, and you feel like you're really stuck on the road. I don't know whether that's I guess that's how the chassis is designed. It's very, very stability oriented, if I may say. So this, I don't know, whatever corner you give it, it will probably drift, but it won't crash, like it won't overturn.
So to sum this all up, the Mitsubishi Outlander is a very, very, very good alternative to the Toyota RAV4, the Toyota Vanguard, the Nissan Murano, and all those mid-sized SUVs that people want to drive because they probably just want to be a little bit higher above the ground, where they won't hit all these humps, or they will be able to manage the difficult roads that are on our streets of Uganda. And it's a very good car, especially if you are knowledgeable about the right lubricants to use, because it's a car that will definitely give you a very satisfying driving experience as long as you do your service in time, you drive the car right, and you use the right parts. One thing you just need to note out for is that once the car gets to a high mileage, you might start to notice that you need to top up your engine oil. And usually in such cases, there's some additives that you can use to minimize that. But if you buy the car and you are the first owner in Uganda, you just need to make sure you never let the car overheat, you never drive the car beyond the service due date. That will extend the life of the Mitsubishi Outlander. If you really are okay with buying the 3-liter, then you may not have the issue of the oil consumption. However, it's a very pleasant car to drive. If you land yourself on a leather seated interior, that would be the best car, especially for the back, because it is really reasonably priced. It's not overly taxed, and it's really to give you that satisfying experience of buying a car with your money, and it gives you what your money paid for. Thanks guys for watching. Catch you in the next video. We'll definitely have better sound.